Because do you think that your son misses you?
I'm sorry. I don't know. I mean, when the incident first happened, you know, he didn't blame me. I'm trying not to get emotional. I was in an abusive relationship. He's the father of my last 3 children. I've gotten my 3rd baby daddy fired.
How?
Well, Salvation Army is where I met him. He was a caseworker. I was homeless, staying there. So I was kind of forbidden fruit to him. Like, he wasn't supposed to be dealing with me.
So what's the craziest stuff that you've done?
My first boyfriend, you know, was cheating on me.
That doesn't make any sense. Like, so he's living with the mother of his child.
Yeah.
And
he has me to get it go.
Oh, so he asked you to go.
Asked me to leave so he can bring this over.
Okay. Well, you got to fill in the gap. Like, he did that why? What's up, YouTube? Make sure you tap into my Instagram at Marcus the Interviewer. I'm going to be posting some exclusive content like this stuff right here that you didn't get to see on YouTube. So tap in with me on Instagram. Now back to the content. What's up, YouTube? Atlanta Street Interviews out here with another one. So we got a young lady with us today. How you doing today, miss?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. So are you homeless?
In transition.
In transition? Okay, so what's your situation?
Well, I've been in my current apartment for 8 years, and the conditions are deplorable. Like, roach infested, mildew, mold. So I've been here trying to get some help, trying to find out. I have a voucher, you know, but the housing market out here is so, it's horrible right now to find
a place that accepts vouchers and that's a decent one and everything.
Yeah, but that's the type of voucher I have, because it's not Section 8, it's Georgia Housing voucher from DHDD. You know what it is?
The Housing Authority, is that what you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Huh.
Department of Behavioral Health, so.
Okay, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's why you're here, basically trying to find some help to locate a good property and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, I get it. How old are you?
34.
34. And so, so I guess you say about 8 years. How long have you been on this, you know, where you've decided, all right, I got to get up out of here and let me go find some help?
I was ready to move year 1.
Well, I get that, but like, how long has it been since you've been like, okay, like you're down here at Crossroads and stuff like that?
Oh, for the past month.
About the past month? Okay. So what was it that happened a month ago that said, all right, it's the final straw? You know what I'm saying? It's over. I got to go find some help.
When it rains, you know, it was a gradual, like, the hole in the ceiling would it's almost ready to cave in. Okay,
so basically
I've
every
already
time.
been in my wits end for years, but that was the final straw.
Okay, I get it. Okay, and so obviously this voucher came. It sounds like at one point you was homeless.
I was.
And so how long ago was that?
2013, 2015.
Okay, so
2.5 years.
Okay, so about 8 years ago. So what was to happen back then that caused you to become homeless?
Back in 2012, I lost my job. In January of 2012, and I was evicted shortly after from my first place in Norcross.
Okay, so basically just losing the job and not being able to pay.
Mm-hmm.
What was it that made you, like, did you have family or anything that you can go back to at that point, or?
I stayed with a few male friends, and
You said a few male friends?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
so were those like romantic partners, stuff like that?
They wanted it to be, and I wasn't feeling it. So once they knew that I wasn't gonna sleep with them in lieu of rent, I had to go.
Okay, I get it.
Mm.
Okay. Okay.
And then I went home to New Orleans. That's where I'm from.
Okay. I was okay. We're just about to go there. All right. So real quick. So do you have any kids?
Yes.
Okay. How many?
6.
6. And so 6 kids. How old is the oldest? How young is the youngest?
14, and my youngest is 4.
Okay, 14 and 4. And so same dad or different dads?
4 different men.
Okay, different dads. As far as the kids go, who do they live with, or where do they live right now?
My daughter lives with my grandmother in Marietta, and my son, one of my sons, lives with his father, who I haven't seen in 3 years.
Okay. Do they live here in Georgia?
Yes.
In the Metro Atlanta area? Okay. Why haven't you seen him in 3 years?
Because of his father. Okay. I'm trying not to get emotional. I was in an abusive relationship. He's the father of my last 3 children. And he abused my said son that I haven't seen in 3 years. So he went to live with his defects, got involved.
I'm sorry, you say he abused your son?
Yes, he beat my son. So I lost custody of my children for 2.5 years.
You say abused, did you just say he beat your son, or he R-worded your son?
Beat my son.
Okay, he beat your son, and so you lost custody.
So he went to the doctor, and I took him to the doctor to make sure nothing was fractured on his face. His face was swollen. And then defects, of course, came to the hospital. And because of the conditions of my home, and because they thought that I allowed the abuse, I lost custody of my children for 2.5 years.
Okay. And that's custody of all of them?
All of them. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I had to do my due diligence and work the case plan to get him back, get a job, move from that place, which I did. But it was in the same complex. So I moved from one unit to another in the same complex.
Okay.
And for 2.5 years, and just did my behavioral health and psych evals, psychological evaluations, and got them back September of last year.
So you got all of them back?
Yeah.
Okay. So we say that the daughter lives with grandma.
Mm-hmm. A son that lives with his father. I have 2 sons that live with their father.
Okay, and
their fathers.
And 2 separate fathers.
2 separate fathers.
Okay. The one that did the beating or whatever, you say that one of your sons lives with him?
No, they live with me.
Okay,
I know it's confusing. It's 4 different men.
Right. I get it. So long story short, 2 of them live with their dad. One of them lives with grandma. The
and
daughter.
I have the remaining 3.
Okay, you have the remaining 3. Okay, got you. And those 3 are from the gentleman that you're talking about.
Yes.
Okay. All right, I get it.
Because obviously they can't be with their father.
Right. Okay. Whew. Okay. All right.
So
No, I get it. All right. And so you say that he was also, violent towards you as well?
Yes.
For how long? Because, y'all had 3 kids together. How long were y'all together?
We were off and on for 10 years.
10 years? 10?
9 years. From 2013 through 22. Because I know you're going to say the math ain't mathing. From 2013 to 2022.
So last year?
Since last year. That was the last time I was with him,
So that was even after the incident that occurred?
Yeah, because we have 3 children, and I was still trying to give them a
grace,
chance.
and I get it.
Grace.
Okay. All right. So that's the kids. Have you ever been married?
No.
No? Okay. So let's just start from the beginning. So, where you from?
7th Ward,
Hey, man. Shout out that New Orleans, man. Shout out that Big Easy, man. That big old N.O., man, all day. Shout it out that 504, man. Y'all know I love New Orleans on this channel, man. I tell you what. All right, so growing up in New Orleans, did you have both mom and dad in the household?
No.
No?
I never knew my father, and my mother was murdered.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry to hear about that.
I know.
What age were you when your mom was murdered?
12.
12? Oof. Okay.
She was on drugs.
She was on drugs and stuff, so she was in the streets. So as far as it goes, who raised you?
My grandmother.
Your grandma, your mom's mom, or your dad's mom?
My mom's mom.
Okay. Whew. Okay. And so, what effect do you think, not knowing your dad, what effect do you think that had on you growing up?
I think his absence affected me a lot because I guess I don't want to say I have disdain for men in general. It's just like, the first man in your life, in a woman's life, is your father. That's supposed to be a woman's first love. So I've always been in relationships waiting for the man to leave or abandon me or cheat or do something. So usually I leave first to prevent, to prevent that from happening.
Is that what happened with the 4 different dads or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't really put my all in the relationship. I was always
one foot in, one foot out type deal?
Just cautious.
Kind of living in fear, like you say, based on the abandonment issues.
Right.
Okay.
But I don't have anything bad to say about the 4 men that I procreated with. I mean, they're decent men.
Yeah, no, I'm saying nothing bad about them.
Yeah.
You said you left them. And you said why, you know, I get it. Okay, so
I mean, they weren't angels, but you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, hey, listen, none of us are, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I get that. Okay, so growing up, growing up in New Orleans, so yeah, I mean, mom murdered at 12. What effect do you think that had on you? I mean, at 12, that's a crucial age.
Yeah, depression was an understatement. I no longer cared about school, grades, nothing. After my mom and
did you end up going to high school?
Yeah, I didn't finish. I wound up getting a GED.
What was the highest grade that you got to?
11th.
11th?
Yeah.
So what was it that made you decide to drop out in the 11th?
I was already skipping school, and you know, I don't say I was fast, but
you was. Well, I mean, so let's talk about that. I mean, you know, did anything ever happen to you growing up?
Like sexually?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so nothing like that. So, what was it that made you decide to kind of start being fast or whatever? You know, in your words, you know?
Because I think I was a late bloomer. So I was raised by my grandmother, and she's very conservative.
Right.
So I didn't wear tight clothes. I didn't wear makeup or none of that until she didn't allow me to until I was 16.
Okay.
So once I started filling out, I started sneaking clothes, tight clothes from my friend.
Right.
To go and put in my locker.
Right.
And change. And then,
Right.
you know, because I was envious of the attention that girls were getting. And
Right,
I'm like,
I get it.
I'm just as bad as y'all. So,
Listen, I'm so worried about that, especially with one of my daughters. I'm so worried about that because, man, I don't even want to talk about it. All right, so.
Keep them tight.
Listen, trust me, I got them. I got them. So, I mean, so what age did you lose your virginity?
17.
Okay, so you wasn't like fast. You was, okay, I get it.
I just wanted attention. I was really like scared of boys, you know, because my grandmother that raised me, she was born in the 50s, so she made that clear that she ain't raising no grandkids. So she scared me.
I get it.
So yeah, it wasn't until I left her home that I lost my virginity.
Okay.
I left her home at 17.
At 17?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why?
She put me in a military academy, youth challenge.
Okay, so you was acting up a little bit, and she was like, "Yeah, you go ahead and go to this youth challenge,
all the way
military
in
youth
Fort
challenge."
Stewart, Georgia.
Yep, I know what you're talking about. I got a couple friends who went through the youth challenge, so I know it.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right. Okay, so you know, I mean, at what point did we decide that okay, you know, hey, we're gonna start having these babies, and you know, like. And who was there for you at that point? Like, was it just the guys that you was with that was there for you, or was your grandma still there for you? Where was your support system at that point?
With my first son's father, I met at Job Corps in Albany, and we were both 19, 20, young, both of our first child, and he proposed to me, I think the night our son was conceived.
Right.
In front of his whole family.
Okay,
so,
look at you smiling about it. That should have been your husband.
Mm-hmm.
See, that should have been your. So why didn't that work out?
I mean, we were just young.
So I hear that. But other generations did stuff at that age and had kids and was able to work it out. So.
Yeah, but we were both trying to get ourselves together. We were both in a Job Corps center. I got a medical office certification.
Who broke up the relationship?
I think it was mutual.
Who left? You already admitted earlier that you leave relationships, so go ahead and admit what happened.
Well, you know what? With that one, I tried.
You tried?
He left me.
He left you?
Yeah. He moved on before me.
If I asked him, why did he move on, or what made him decide to leave, or dissolve the relationship, what do you think his response would be?
She crazy as hell.
Well,
that bitch crazy.
Well, I mean, is there any truth to that?
No.
That no didn't look too. It didn't look like you was too sure about that.
No.
Okay. So.
I think I'm a decent woman.
Well, you come off like this demure, old-fashioned. You got the gap in your mouth. You got the whole thing going on, right? The whole girl next door vibe. But you got 4 different dads, right? And I mean, there may be some stuff. So what's the other stuff that we're not seeing? Go ahead and just tell us.
I just don't play with me, just like lying.
So what? So when girls say that, That's code for I'm crazy and do crazy-ish, and may get semi-violent at times, and be very passionate about if I feel offended or betrayed.
Betrayed or wrong. Gotcha. You hit it on the nail.
So what's the craziest stuff that you've done?
My first boyfriend, was cheating on me. The one I lost my virginity to.
Okay.
I went on his MySpace page. This is 07.
Okay. Shout out to MySpace.
I went on his page, deleted his page.
You deleted his page? Okay. Well, I mean, what else? What other crazy stuff besides cyber crimes?
I've gotten my third baby daddy fired.
How?
Well, Salvation Army is where I met him. He was a caseworker. I was homeless, staying there. So I was kind of forbidden fruit to him. Like, he wasn't supposed to be dealing with me. So I wound up getting pregnant by him, and I moved in with him, and just relationship. I'm struggling and trying to get myself together. So there's lack of money. He's struggling still, even as a caseworker.
Well, I mean, yeah, the caseworkers don't make a whole lot of money, so.
Yeah, so it's like, you got the financial thing going on. We're both stressed, and we got a baby on the way. But for some reason, he decided to, instead of trying to work it out with me and hold me down, because it's not like I'm just, sitting around not trying to, you know what I mean? I got to get up and go about myself.
Right.
Like, I'm trying to be a nurse. I'm a nurse in school.
Okay.
And he decided to call some other female.
Call some other female?
Oh, yeah, and invite her over.
To like, what? To do what?
What you think?
Well, you tell me.
Yes, I said I'm gonna take. So he
wait, because that doesn't make any sense. Like, so he's living with the mother of his child.
Yeah.
And
he has to me to get it go.
Oh, so he asked you to go.
Asked me to leave so he can bring this bitch over.
Okay. Well, you got to fill in the gap. Like, he did that. Why?
Because it's just like we're not getting along. We're just not. He's just, to me, he's selfish, and I'm not. He says I am.
So I'm about to say. So he would say the same thing.
He would say the same thing. That I am self-absorbed.
Why would he say that?
I guess he just thinks I'm inconsiderate.
Well, are you?
No.
Okay.
I'm not.
Well, why would he say that?
I don't know why he was. Okay, I will fix something. I'll cook, and I have children, so you making it clear that we're not really in a relationship. That this is just casual sex or whatever. But I had fallen for him. So I'm young. I'm 24 at the time, and so I said, well, I'll just pay you rent then. We'll just be roommates. But of course he ain't gonna just be roommates with me.
You trying to cut off the buns. Yeah. You walking around, and your booty jiggling and everything else. And, yeah, of course, you can't, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I cut that off. And he said, oh, well, get it from somebody.
Well, right. That makes sense, though. You understand that, right? I mean, what are you expecting, to not go with sex? To go without sex?
It's how you do it. because it wasn't like I wasn't doing my own thing, too.
Oh, wow. So you was cheating on him.
We weren't in a relationship. We weren't in a relationship.
Hold on.
Like,
so you was cheating on him.
Okay, look.
So how you gonna get so mad at him?
Because I got needs too. I'm just not working with you to meet them needs.
So why y'all couldn't just satisfy each other's needs and raise the kid that y'all made?
You gotta ask him that.
No, I'm asking you.
He got in his feelings because I would stay out late and come home. So he already knew.
Okay, so you was already and who started that behavior first?
He did. I was trying to be in a relationship with him. He made it clear that's not what this is. So I said, okay, I'm gonna do my own thing with other men. Not too many men. Just
was that y'all's?
That was the foundation.
Was that the deal that y'all had? In other words, was it like, hey? Was he like, hey, we're not in a relationship, but you can't sleep with other guys?
I think in his mind, he thought I would still just be,
okay, so he didn't make it clear that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I get that. You gotta be clear about what it is that you want.
Yeah.
And what your expectations are, because otherwise than that, anything could happen. So.
Because he's handsome, and so he had a lot of women coming at him at the shelter.
Obviously, you came after him, right?
Right. Yeah. So, I said, who was her?
You say what? What'd you just say?
I saw him walking in the cafeteria.
Uh-huh.
I asked him, I said, who is that? I got a sample.
Oh, you bad.
And usually, yeah. So,
okay, so that little gap ain't so quite innocent. Don't do none of that.
So
all right,
that was the foundation, and long story short, he bring that bitch over to the house, make a long story long, and he tell me, yeah, this ain't working, this arrangement. I took his house key and brought it back to the job and turned it into his boss to let him know that we've been dealing with each other, and they fired him. Because I gave him $200. So if you fuck with my money, I'm gonna fuck with yours.
So what is he's I'm sure he's got another job now, right?
Yeah,
And he's working,
yeah,
everything's
that was years
good.
Ago. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I took him to court of child support. We've been through a lot.
So where's y'all's relationship like now?
We're cool.
Y'all are good now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Got a beautiful 9-year-old son.
Okay. And so the kids that you have with the three dads that have the kids, do you get to see those kids often?
Well, I've got 3 with me.
Right, so you have the 3 with you, but the 3 that you don't have with you.
I don't get to see my son, my 11-year-old. That's the only one I don't get to see.
Why not?
Because of his father, and I never got along. And now my son. That son is a product of a fling. I didn't really know him. I was 21, 22 at the time, and he's older. He's like 12 years older. So.
Well, and I get that, but I mean.
Oh, because he was the one that got beaten. That's his son, by my abusive ex.
Oh, so he doesn't. Wow.
So he's
like, you can't even.
Right. I don't. You'll never see your mom again. So.
How do you feel about that?
I'm dealing with it.
Huh?
I'm dealing with it.
You say what?
I'm dealing with it. It's emotion.
So when was the last time you saw him?
February 2020.
And I definitely understand the dad's anger, 100%.
Yeah.
But that hasn't subsided at this point, even a little bit.
Mm-mm. So the only way I get to see him is go on Facebook, go on his father's page and look at pictures of him, and maybe tag it or cut it out and put it on. You know what I mean? Download it on my phone. So yeah, he was 8. So he just turned 11 in September.
Do you feel any level of guilt about that situation?
Of course I do. Because that's my job as a mom, to provide and protect your children, and I failed miserably.
And so, I mean, do you have any plans on trying to, maybe get some level of custody or, anything like that? Because do you think that your son misses you?
I'm sorry. I don't know. I mean, when the incident first happened, he didn't blame me because he was, my ex was abusive to me too. So, and I wasn't working at the time, so I was kind of codependent on him. So he did, he did tell me before he went with his father, he loved me. I always love you, mama. Because my son is even though his face was swollen,
he's an 8-year-old kid.
Yeah,
and he's an 8-year-old boy who loves his mom. So.
Yeah, so
But what about
told
now?
me his father told him that he would never see me again. So I understand, because he would get in court and he would talk shit about me, my son, curse and all of that. But it was coerced by his father. And so I know that. So
your son would get in court and say negative things about you?
Yeah.
So the court basically doesn't, they're not giving you any custody until, so you're not going to get anything.
I don't know where he is.
You don't even know where he is?
No. I don't know if he's safe. I don't know if he's okay eating. warm. I don't know. I can't check on him. Well, I don't know what school he goes to. I don't know anything about my baby.
Okay. What effect do you think your absence in his life is going to have on him as he grows up?
Well, I hope he don't grow up with a bitterness towards women, because the first woman in his life failed him. You know what I mean? Men will grow up with, fuck all women. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I 100% understand what you mean.
Yeah, I just want him to know I love him. Like, wherever he is. Chris, that's his name.
Well, I mean, one of the things that we do on this channel, we have conversations with people when they're not right in front of us. And so if there's anything that you want to tell them, he may see the video now, later, years from now, who knows. But if there's any message that you want him to have, go ahead and let him have it.
Yeah, I love you, Chris. I can talk to him like that.
Yeah.
I love you. And you put in my loins, my baby. So I know that we got a lot of healing to do. And I'm willing, whenever you're ready, to talk to me. Mommy's here.
Okay. And you say you have a 14-year-old?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a daughter?
That's a son. I have 5 sons.
So you're... Okay, and he also lives with his dad?
No, he lives with me.
He lives with you? Okay, so the 14-year-old lives with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
That's my second oldest.
I get it.
I'm referring to.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, miss. So at this point, you're just trying to get a new spot because the spot that you're in right now is just completely dilapidated, basically.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, if anybody out there wanted to reach out, help or donate, do you have a way they could do that? Do you have social media, Cash App, anything like that?
I have a Cash App.
Okay. What's your Cash App?
The Book of Micah.
You say what?
The Book of Micah.
The Book of Micah?
Micah's one of my son's names.
Okay. The Book of Micah. Do you have Instagram or Facebook or anything like that?
Ashley McDonald.
Okay, on Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Ashley McDonald. All right, well, listen, we really appreciate you, like I say, and we definitely wish you nothing but the best out here, okay?
Thank you.
You make sure you have a good one, sweetie.
You too.
All right.